Hello, I'm here in the blanket fort again, and this time I have a bunch of books that I got for Christmas and around Christmas time that I'm going to show to you. What do we start with? We'll start with one that's probably fairly familiar. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is a book that's talked about a lot on BookTube. You're probably sick of seeing it. I don't think this is a YA book. I think this is an adult book, which is fun. I've been trying to read more adult books recently. I've heard it has really beautiful writing, which is the reason I put it on my Christmas list. I really like the slower books that have really beautiful writing and that just really immerse you into the world. And I'm pretty sure this is a book that does that. I have also heard that it is slightly romancy, I think, so that might be an issue. This is what it looks like without a book jacket. I really like doing this to people. Look, closer. See the design? Yeah. Instant headache. Also, that one was a gift from my grandparents. Thank you, grandparents. At least I think it's from them. I've kind of gotten confused about who gave me what, so if I get one wrong, that might happen. Just be aware. The next book I have is The Amulet of Sklaskamine by Jonathan Stroud. Here it is. It's the first book in a series called the Bartimus trilogy. I forget how I found this or why I put it on my list. I think I was looking up books with werewolves in them, and this series came up. Dropped it. I'm interested to try it. I like fantasies that aren't quite as complex as high fantasy, but aren't as simple as urban fantasy, and I think this is going to be one of those things, so I'm interested to try it. That one I think was a gift from my parents. Another one that was a gift from my parents is this really cool, incredible Creatures and Creations Bible. It's the NIV version. Here's the cover. It's the Bible, but it also has a lot of pages showing you mythical creatures that are in or are mentioned in the Bible. See, there's a unicorn, flaming horses, merfolk, a bunch of really cool things, and then it has little write-ups about them in the back of the page. It's really cool. I really like it. I think this is my favorite book that I've gotten for Christmas this year. The next book is an exciting and fun one. This was another gift from my grandparents. Winter by Marissa Meyer. I'm excited to finish off this series because it's really nice to end a series and have it be something that's no longer you're currently reading. And it's also a very fun series, and I am excited to see the end of it. I just finished Cress a while ago, so I'm going to read Fairest next, and then after that I'm going to pick up Winter sometime. This next one is from my sister Cassidy, and it is an OMG Shakespeare box set. If you don't know what these are, this series takes Shakespeare stories and translates them into text messaging with text talk and more modern day language. I really like the ones that I've read so far. They make it really easy to understand the story, and it's fun to read them before reading or seeing the actual plays because then you actually know what's going on. They're really fast reads, and I bumped my Goodreads goal this year up really much higher than I meant to, so they should be really good for helping me with that. It includes Macbeth, #killing it, Seriously Hamlet, and YOLO Juliet. This little series also has a little bit of bad language in it, so if that's not something you're comfortable with, these might not be the best choice to pick up, but if you are okay with it and you're like in high school or college studying Shakespeare and you're having a hard time understanding it, I very much recommend these. And if you're very interested in Shakespeare and you really want to learn more about it, you can go to my sister Cassidy Cash channel, which I will have linked below, because she makes a lot of videos about Shakespeare and Shakespeare's time and Shakespeare's plays, so go forth and check her out. The next thing I got was from my parents. I was a little confused when I opened this present because I didn't have these books on my list, so it took me a while to process what they were. I have The 45th Mystic by Ted Dekker and Rise of the Mystics by Ted Dekker. I don't know if this is a duology or if they're the first two books in a bigger series, but they look very interesting to me. I've heard a lot about Ted Dekker. He's supposed to be a really good thriller, horror-ish author, and even though those aren't genres that I like too much, I am interested in these two books. Also by Ted Dekker, along with Kira Dekker, my parents gave me these first 4 books in the Dream Traveler's Quest, which looks like a more younger series by him. There's Into the Book of Light, The Curse of Shadow Shadow Man, The Garden and the Serpent, and The Final Judgment. I've never heard of these books before. They look really interesting. How many times have I said interesting in this video? This next book was given to me by my sister Katrina, I think. And now that I think about it, I think Katrina also gave me The Night Circus, not my grandparents. This one is I Crawl Through It by A.S. King. I've heard a lot about A.S. King on BookTube. She sounds like a very interesting author. This book is surrealism, I've heard, and I've never read surreal fiction before. I've seen surreal art, so I'm interested to see what surreal fiction is like, because did I say interested again? Well, I am interested. I am very interested to see what surrealism is like in book form. Interesting. I have one last present. This is from my grandparents. You guys are all going to be very excited to see it. But honestly, the more I think about it, the less I think I'm actually going to ever get to this. Because I just don't know if it's my kind of thing. It is the Mistborn Trilogy box set, the UK edition. I'm going to go ahead and show them to you. Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages. I just don't think this series is going to be my kind of thing. I don't have a good history with high fantasy novels. Books with a lot of violence in them, with a lot of people dying and everything, and a lot of big battles is just, I don't like that. I've heard Brandon Sanderson's world building and his fantasy aspects are all really, really awesome, but these books are really huge, and I just don't know if it's going to be worth it to me to finish these. That's all the gifts, but I do have 2 more books that I got that fit in with the Christmassy theme, sort of. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out of the way first. It is the Polar Bear Explorers Club by Alex Bell. This was the Owl Crate Jr. book of the month. It doesn't really strike me as something that I'm really interested in, but I'm sure that if I do get in... I said interested again. No more I'm not interested in this or this. I do not find it as appealing. Appeal is not the word. It's not a good synonym. This one doesn't strike me as the one that I'm... Of all the Owl Crate books, this one does not strike me as the one that I would choose to read. But I still might read it. It's still mediocrely fascinating. And finally, I have this one last book. I've already explained this several times in several videos, but over Christmas time we had some friends from Brazil come and stay with us, which is actually why we built this fort in the first place. And the day after Christmas we took them shopping and we went to Barnes & Noble, and I didn't think I was going to buy anything at Barnes & Noble, but I brought my gift card, so book. I got Dracula by Bram Stoker. I plan on reading a lot of classics in 2019. I'll probably wait till October to read this one, but I've been eyeing this copy for a very long time, and I decided when we went to the store that it was time to get it. It's a very nice copy. I'm upset that it doesn't really match my other Barnes & Noble Classics edition, but the copy that did was Dracula plus other stories, and I don't like those. I just want one story per physical book. I don't like all of those bind-ups that Barnes & Noble do. I don't like them. Doing the book holding in this blanket fort where I can only stand up this much is going to be the hardest thing ever. Oh no. Did we do that backwards? No, I didn't. Okay, don't let it fall. Just grab the other book and set it here. My chin is a key. Oh no. These are all the books that I got for Christmas. Those are all the books that I got for Christmas. Thank you for watching video. Like, subscribe, do all the things so I can put these down. Yeah. Thumbnail. Oh, I really hope it's in focus. No. Oh. Ah! Something ripped. Goodbye. Wait, no, I need to eat the camera, don't I? This has been harder than any other book holding I've ever done. Bye. Ah!